What is good, homies? I really didn't want to make this video. I didn't. But my thing is, like, when you're a part of the YouTube community, and whether or not Dax wants to be called a YouTube rapper or not, that's neither here nor there, but he's a part of the YouTube community. This is where he puts out his content. This is where he's benefiting. There's just a certain code of conduct that I feel like you need to go by when you're working with other content creators. It's just like, that's just kind of the way it goes. So for everybody that's wondering, like, what are you talking about? My man is ripping people off. It's not cool, and I feel like it needs to be spoken on. One of my biggest problems with it is just, it's the fact that, like, he puts out this positive persona. You can't choose when and where you're gonna be a positive, inspirational person and when and where you're gonna rip people off and be a scumbag. Like, you just can't do that. We're gonna throw a picture up right now of all the collaborations that he's done in the recent times. He had one with Screwface, he had one with Quedeca, he had the Four Horsemen track that had Crypt, Quedeca, and Screw on it. He had the KSI diss track that he jumped on. He had one with Mercules, and then he also put out that track with Hobson. Now, I'm not trying to say that somebody got ripped off in every single one of these situations, especially like the Hobson situation. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if, I would assume he paid Hobson, but I really don't know. I have no idea how that one went. But as we go through this, you'll see why it's relevant to the situation. As far as the other ones, I will say that, listen, I've confirmed a few things here and there. I'm not gonna say what, and I can't say necessarily with who. So Dax, as we all know, is a janitor. I mean, he used to be a janitor. I apologize, homie. I apologize. Now he's a YouTube rapper. I mean, a mainstream rapper. Damn it, I keep doing it. Okay, he's gonna get pissed. But apparently, he thinks that we keep forgetting that he used to be a janitor, and for whatever reason, he keeps trying to remind us.
Man, I went from cleaning in public to getting money in bunch. Who you know was a janitor, went and got rich, copped a whip to peel off the lot. Cleaning up toilets in Kansas, my nigga was fucking disgusting. Cleaning up toilets and living in mansion and fucking the budget. Overnight shifts was a bitch cleaning toilets, I ain't going back to no mopping.
So that's letting us know that he's a janitor twice in the Hobson verse. Once in the verse for Screw, once in the verse he dissed KSI, and once in the verse for Quedeca. And he sold probably all of those verses.
40 racks, 40 racks, 40 racks!
Besides the Hobson one, I would assume. I find that really interesting that you could just keep repackaging the same thing and just selling it. It's like, I thought once one person gets it, it was theirs. I don't know. That was just my opinion. That's kind of weird to me. But okay. If you guys aren't convinced that that's messed up, we can move on to the next thing. So, I mean, I was listening to the Quedeca War verse. At the end, he's talking like Curry with the shot, dunk on you like Shaq on the block. And like, yo, I was like, yo, this shit is kind of crazy.
Who you know was a janitor, went and got rich, copped a whip to peel off the lot. Who you know be a thug who will murder a nigga, then talking go move like Barack. Who you know got a jumper like Curry and dunk on a nigga like Shaq on a block. Who you know got a... You don't know nobody.
And then after that, I was like, yo, I'm gonna go listen to some more verses and stuff. So I went back, I started listening to the Four Horsemen track again. I was like, yo, this whole crack is wild. But then I got to Dax's verse, and then towards the end, I was like, wait a minute. In the name of Keemstar, just roll the clip.
Who you know got a dick, make a bitch do a flip like she do in gymnastics. I can make a whole kitty stretch like the warm-up prior to an NBA team doing practice. I can turn a gay bitch straight like you drawing with a ruler in them geometrical type of a classes. I can make it... Let's just say I can make a lot of shit happen, my nigga. Who you know was a janitor, went and got rich, copped a whip to peel off the lot. Who you know be a thug who will murder a nigga, then talking go move like Barack. Who you know got a jumper like Curry and dunk on a nigga like Shaq on a block. Who you know got a... You don't know nobody.
So I mean, if you just switch the who you know and the I to, you know what I mean? Like if you change all the I cans to who you know, it's the same thing, or vice versa. I mean, I get there's like a syllable difference, but you could change that somewhere else in the verse. So basically what it sounds like to me is that he had a verse or like 8 bars or something like that he had already written, and he just took half of it and threw it in one verse and the other half and threw it in the other. Man, I'm just curious how much he made for all these verses.
40 racks, 40 racks, 40 racks!
I would actually doubt that it's that. I don't think anybody would pay that much, but who knows what he's trying to charge out there. I mean, he said he's gonna be the biggest mainstream artist in a year, so I mean, it seems like to me like he's going a little to the head. And apparently the way that he feels he can treat people by just ripping them off and giving them garbage and stuff that he's reused like 30 different times, he feels like that's okay. But hey, stay positive. I'm gonna keep inspiring you guys. But okay. I mean, if you guys still are not convinced, let's just take like a real quick look at the verse that he sold Screwface. Let's take a real quick look. SFJ Nation, shout out to you guys. You guys have been extremely dope. I think you guys should pay real close attention to this one.
Made for the guards, made for the click, about to go hard, been on my shit. Yeah, now we ain't stopping. Yeah, overnight shifts was a bitch cleaning toilets, I ain't going back to no mopping. Yeah, now we took a whole city, wasn't fucking with me, then I went and put that city on the map. Yeah, I went and put that city on the map. I went and put that city on the map. Stacks.
He took a pause for one line for absolutely no reason in the middle of his verse, then spit a line, then took another pause for a line for absolutely no reason, and then at the very end of the verse, he basically just cut 2 bars out and then repeated the end of the last line he had said through those 2 bars. Not only that, but he dropped the janitor line, which he's used in pretty much every verse that he's dropped in the last 2 months. So yeah, I mean, if my math is right, he sold Screwface 10 bars for a 16-bar verse. Once again, man, I really wonder what he is charging for these verses.
40 racks, 40 racks, 40 racks!
Now, another thing that I just happened to notice was that for pretty much all of these tracks, besides I think the Quedeca one, it seems like he acknowledged the Quedeca one, and I'll talk about my reasoning behind a few of my thoughts here in a minute, but he didn't even acknowledge that any of these tracks dropped. Like, he didn't talk about them at all. I mean, I would assume that if you're paying somebody money to get on a track, like, you'd think they would at least tweet it out. Quick interjection, as of the editing of this video, I did see that Dax actually retweeted Screw when he was talking about the Dream Chaser track, so I just wanted to make sure that I'm not inaccurate. He did actually promote it, finally, like, way too late, but whatever, he did it. Yo, it's funny, I didn't even actually look at what the tweet said. Dude, it's so basic. Go peep the song I did with homie. You could definitely tell somebody twisted his arm and he didn't want to actually tweet it. That's, bruh, I'm sorry, Dax, but you a lame, bro. All right, let's get back to the scheduled program. He's probably just busy, and he's got his blinders on.
And I'm like the guy that's like, yo, I was an overnight janitor, then I found this, and I made a decision that I'm gonna be one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world. And I'm just working towards that blindly with these fucking blinders on.
For real though, I do want to say that I do think that that's the right way to go about something. If you want something in life, you have to be obsessed. You have to be straight on with it. You have to be very focused. I completely agree with that. But you have to treat the people around you right. You can't just use people as stepping stones and rip them off. And basically, you can't be a scumbag, especially not to the community that's helping make you. Like, you can't do that, bro. You can't. But anyways, here's my thoughts on why he kind of shared the Quedeca track a little bit. So, I mean, despite the fact that he tends to get more views by average on his music videos than Quedeca does have more subscribers, and Quedeca is hot on YouTube right now. So, I mean, it does make sense that he would acknowledge it, but he still barely acknowledged it. He didn't even tweet it himself. He just kind of retweeted and was like, this is crazy or something like that. Now, I haven't shown any clips from the Mercules track. I ain't even gonna bother. He says something about farting and twerking. I don't know. My man is weird, but overall, I'm not gonna say that was the worst verse ever. And now part of me was thinking, well, why? Because Mercules has 600,000 subs. Dax is over 1 million. But then you gotta kind of look at it from some other angles. Dax wants to make it in the music industry. He doesn't want to be a YouTube rapper. Mercules has been on Sway in the Morning. Mercules has the attention of people in the industry that Dax wants the attention of. So it kind of makes sense for him to collab with him and maybe put a little bit more into the verse. Although I still don't think that he acknowledged it at all. And I don't know I don't think it was the greatest verse. I'm curious what Mercules thinks. But anyways, aside from that just got me to look into some of his interviews. I was just curious. I've never really seen this guy sit down and talk, and I'm just curious to see what he had to say. I figured the No Jumper podcast would be the best one to look at because Adam tends to ask some of the really good questions, and he's straightforward with people. So I was like, let's see what he's got to say.
No, I don't vlog. I don't make how-to videos. I don't do nothing. I want to put something into the world that lasts forever, and I'll do anything possible to gain the audience, to show them what I'm doing and try to do that.
Right.
So I just do whatever.
And after I had pieced together all this other information, to be honest with you, a lot of it wasn't really a surprise. I mean, if you really listen into what he's saying, he's kind of just openly telling you this is what he does. I mean, he says it himself. I will do anything to achieve that audience to be able to put that message out. And I get it. Like, I get it that what he wants to do is positive. He wants to put this message out that lasts. It's inspiring. But when you say you're willing to do anything, there's usually limits to that anything. Like, ripping people off and being a scrub, bro. Like, that's usually on the do not do list. I mean, hey, at least in this next clip, he's completely open and honest that he wants nothing to do with the YouTube community. You know, we're not the ones that are helping boost his career and help him get all these great things that he's, getting in his life, but whatever.
But were you already interested in like the YouTube community?
No, I'm not. I have no interest in any community. My only interest is to put something into the world that lasts forever.
So real quick, let me just clarify. When I say the YouTube community, I don't just mean the viewers, but I also mean the content creators. So I mean, part of the reason you got to 1 million subs is because the content creators that worked with you on your way up. I'm sure you did a lot of it yourself. You made viral videos. I'm not saying that you did, but the YouTube community 100% helped your rise, bro. Like you want nothing to do with them. And I mean, is that why you're ripping them off? Because you just don't care about us?
Come on, son.
I mean, let's be real. He's the clickbait master. It's like, let's use a Bad Baby sample and then we'll just say that she's on the track.
Featuring Bad Baby, she's not actually in the video.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, he's jug.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get the scholarship.
Jug.
So I got to dive on the floor.
Shout out to Adam, though, for telling him to jig. Like, I feel like he was taking a little shot and Dax just didn't catch it. So shout out to Adam, man, because I don't agree with that either. That's kind of lame. I mean, shoot, he was even happy that FouseyTube got shut down, which I get it. It wasn't a functional concert, but he was happy he was the only one that was able to perform because he got all the publicity, or so he thought he would. I mean, come on, man. That's just kind of of weird.
What was your perspective on like it getting shut down and everything? You didn't get to actually perform, or did you?
No, I got to do like 2 or 3 songs.
Oh,
so as soon as that shit shut down, I was like, great publicity. I was like, this nigga's on stage. It happened when I was on. I was like, great, man. It was great. No one else got to perform.
Yeah, right.
Fuck it.
Then he even goes on in the interview to try to tell kids that being a clout chaser is a good thing. What are we gonna do with you, homie?
You gotta build your platform how you gotta build it, and this is what I'm gonna say this shit on the show right now.
Fans of fans.
This term clout chaser is like killing kids' dreams. Like all a clout chaser is someone who is gonna do anything and everything to make their dream happen. So don't be scared of this word clout chaser. Do what you gotta do to get what you gotta get, because not everybody has someone co-signing them. Not everybody has a big ass backer. Not everyone's rich. So you just got to do what you got to do. I was broke. I was a janitor. So I did what I had to do to now be able to sit with you. That's why I'm saying in goddamn 2019, we're turning the word clout chaser to a positive term.
I'm chasing after the clout.
Listen, guys, let me help explain it to you, okay? Like, doing what you have to do with certain code of conduct to get to your goals is completely okay. That's what everybody should do. You need to have that obsession. You need to have that straight on focus. You have to. Now, maybe you don't stop to help every single person along the way. Like, I get it. That's the truth. But to just kick people down and step over them to get there, that's a whole nother story. Like, that's what a clout chaser is. A clout chaser is going to do messed up things. So yes, basically you are a clout chaser. I don't disagree with you on that. I disagree that it's a good thing. And the reason you're a clout chaser is because, listen, you have this goal, this amazing goal, which we all have. We all want to grow. We all want to be amazing, whether it's in rap, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's in gaming, whatever it is. But the rest of us are going to try to get to it, in the most ethical way possible. Whereas you're just going to try to rip people off, get as much money as you can so you can get this platform because you think you can speak to us like you're Jesus or something. It's not going to work. Somebody's going to call you on your bullshit. I'm a small channel doing it. It's only a matter of time before somebody else is going to come out and call you on it, man. And listen, I was a fan, but I cannot call myself a fan of somebody who walks funny, bro. Like, I can't. I personally feel like you owe all of them an extra verse. I really do. I feel like you should drop another track with Quideka for completely free, another with Screw, especially Screw, because you gave him 10 bars, bro. 10 bars. Like, what is life? Not only that, bro, but you gave me some serious FouseyTube flashbacks in that interview, homie. I think Adam was feeling it too.
Hell yeah. Me and Blueface's boys, we met once.
Who do you listen to these days?
I tell you what, man, always listen to Drake. I actually met Drake the other day. That shit was lit.
Where?
At a party on New Year's.
I gotta go to more parties.
It was lit. Met him. That was a great experience, man. It's dope meeting someone I've been listening to for that long.
Right.
I was lit. LeBron was there too, so that was lit.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I don't know, homie. I don't know. I just think you on one, Dax. I really do. And I hope that you come down from that cloud that you've been surfing on, bruh. I really do, because I think that you could be a dope talent. Unfortunately, the way that you're treating the artists around you on the way to this goal that you have is just, it's not cool. And I personally would say that if you're a fan of any of these other people, that you should do the same as I'm doing and just not support him until he either apologizes, makes it right, or whatever the case might be. Now, I was saying earlier, I do think at some point there will be something else that comes out about this. So if you want to wait to reserve judgment, feel free. But I do think that you're going to hear something from some of these people at some point. That's all I'm saying. I mean, when you throw a bunch of money at a verse and and someone sends it to you and this is the first 2 lines.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you know I'm about to make this shit simple.
You know that shit's about to be trash.
40 racks.
I'm honestly mad that I reacted to all this stuff and I just didn't catch it because some of these songs were weeks apart and everything. But then I started to, I'm like, yo, I feel like I've heard these lines. And it started to just like stand out to me because like, this is what I do, bro. I listen to music all the time. It's just crazy that I don't feel like I've seen anybody talk about this. I don't see anything in the comments, nothing on Twitter, like nothing. So hopefully this puts people up on some bullshit that's going down. I really hope. The way I see it is it's not fair to the people that you're working with and it's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to the people that you're selling this music to. Like, you're giving them the same recycled lines you put on like 5-6 tracks in a row. The fans deserve better than this, Dax, and I personally cannot support you until they get it.
40 racks.
And that's all she wrote, motherfucker. I feel like Keemstar.